morning, grade 4s. Let's talk about the difference between adverbs and adjectives today. Now, an adverb describes a verb or an adjective or an adverb. It can describe a whole bunch of different things. A noun on the other, an adjective on the other hand, can only describe a noun, a person, place, thing, or idea. So 9 times out of 10, it's more likely it's an adverb. But in order to answer that question, we always have to ask, what type of word is the word describing? Now, as a little added bonus, if you ever see the word not or nt, those are examples of adverbs because they describe a verb. They say, you cannot do this thing. You cannot be blank, blank, blank. So not or nt always describes an adverb. Let's get started, and today we are going to use some examples from our textbook again to get you started on each of these examples. So we're going to look at page 190 first in the section called Think. Not think A, not think B, just think, which is really cool. And there's 2 things we have to do for this part. First of all, we have to write the adverb on, or we have to write on the blank whether it is an adverb or an adjective. And second, oh, actually, that's all we have to do. There we go. So we just have to write down if the word is an adverb or an adjective. So in order to do that, we need to figure out what the word is describing. So in this first sentence, we have, you did a very nice job. What is very describing? Can you have a very job? No, that doesn't sound right. It's not describing job. You are very? No, very isn't describing you. Very nice? Very must be describing nice. Now, what type of word is nice? Nice is actually an adjective because it's describing the job that you're having. So if our word describes an adjective, it's an adverb. So on the line, we're going to write adverb. There we go. Let's try the next one. She bought a pretty new dress. So what is the word pretty describing? Is it describing her? Nope. Is it describing the dress? Pretty dress? Yes it is. So pretty is describing dress. Now what type of word is dress? Is it a person, place, or thing? Yes it is. So this one is a noun. If our word is describing a noun, it must be an adjective. So on the line we write adjective. And number 3, Jason had not finished his ice cream cone. This one's a nice given because we know that if the word is not or nt, it is automatically an adverb because it is describing the verbs. There we go. So let's try the next page. It's some more work with adverbs and adjectives, and let's see what we can do. So let's just make sure that you guys can see what's going on. Fold that down, bring it up. Okay, perfect. So this is page 191, Think A and Think B. So Think A tells us to underline the adverb and write the words the adverb describes on the line. So that is important. Let's start with the first thing. We need to find the adverb. The kite flew alone. So what word is describing the verb in this case? This is the verb flew. Alone. Alone is describing how the kite flew. So the adverb is alone. We actually have to underline that. I like circling because I get a bit distracted, but I'm going to underline the adverb. And then I'm going to write the word or the words that the adverb describes on the line. It's describing flew. So on the line here, I write flew, just like that. Next, Daniel did not forget his promise. There's a not in there. Not is that giveaway adverb. We know not is always going to be an adverb. It is describing the verbs. So what are the verbs of this sentence? Well, forget's a verb. But we also have this word, did. Did is also a verb, and so the adverb is describing both of those. So on the line, you write did forget. And finally, Nicholas was very sorry about the mistake. Sorry is a describing word. Is that our adverb? Well, let's think. What's the sorry describing? Is sorry describing was? No. Is sorry describing the mistake? No. Sorry is describing Nicholas. Okay. Oh, but that means that sorry is describing a noun. That means that this is actually an adjective. It's not an adverb. So we have to look for the adverb now. What's describing? Oh, what about very? Very is another describing word. What's very describing? It's not describing the was. Oh, it's describing how sorry that person is. If a word describes an adjective, it must be an adverb. So very is my adverb. What word is it describing? Well, it's describing sorry. So on the line, we write sorry. There we go. So there is our adverbs for those three. Let's look at Think B to finish things up. Think B says underline the adverb and draw arrows to the word it describes. So let's try this out. The mule stubbornly stopped in the road. What's my describing word? That word is stubbornly, so I underline it. What is stubbornly describing? Is it describing the mule? Is it describing how the mule stopped? Yes, it is. So we draw an arrow to stopped because stubbornly is describing stopped. Next, it is very cold in Greenland. Okay, looking for my describing words. Cold is a describing word, but cold is describing Greenland, a noun. So that is an adjective, not an adverb. What's describing cold? Very is describing cold. So very must mean my adverb, and it's describing cold. So I draw an arrow to cold. I know this stuff gets a little bit confusing, grade 4s, but I hope that clears things up a little bit. I wish you the best today.